The events or activities in the Scrum framework really define how Scrum is used. Being an empirical process control system, Scrum encourages us to make our decisions based on evidence. Accordingly, each event defined by Scrum is an opportunity to inspect something and adapt something. If an inspection and adaptation does not occur in one of your Scrum events, you're not doing it right. Now, before we move on, it's worth spending just a moment to talk about time boxing. One of the things that makes Scrum so unique is that each event defined in the Scrum framework is a time boxed event. What is time boxing? Well, that means that for a given event, there is a maximum yet no minimum duration. In other words, if you're having a sprint planning meeting and the time box for that meeting is 2 hours, the meeting is over at 2 hours, even if there's more work to be done. However, if the teams finish early in 30 minutes, there's no reason to hang around and gaze at your navel just to make the framework fit. Now, the fact that there is a time box on each and every event is not an accident. This actually causes a little bit of pressure by acting as a container for whatever activity is supposed to be going on during that time. In fact, self-organization cannot occur without a container, and the time boxes in Scrum provide that container so that self-organization and collaboration can truly thrive. Since each event has an input and an output, and it's time boxed, this focuses participants on achieving the best possible results in the time allowed. That is not to say that the perfect solution is going to be generated every time, but that the best possible solution within the system constraints, and time box being one of those, will be reached. This is something known as the art of the possible. The art of the possible is most often associated with war, frankly, and is exemplified in the expression, you go to war with the army you have, not the one you wish you had. Time boxing participates in a set of constraints that includes the people present and their current knowledge. This forces the best possible outcome given those constraints, and in short, causes us to deal with reality instead of what we wish were true. Now strap in and I'll give you a quick history lesson. I was curious where the term the art of the possible originated, and it turns out to have originated with the Prime Minister of Prussia, Otto von Bismarck. This quote is attributed to August 11th, 1867. Otto von Bismarck was the prime minister who unified German states into a single empire and was the chancellor of Germany from 1871 to 1890. The quote from Otto von Bismarck actually was, "Politics is the art of the possible." His meaning of the art of the possible was the same then as we are using it today. Scrum focuses on what is actually possible rather than what we wish were possible. The events laid out in the Scrum Guide are your ticket to shipping done increments at the end of each and every sprint. Speaking of sprint, a sprint is a container for all of the other events that occur in Scrum. It's rather difficult to talk about the sprint as a single event because it lasts for multiple days. It is, however, a time-boxed event, and it does act as a container for all of the other events. And they are sprint planning, daily Scrum, sprint review, and sprint retrospective, each of which we'll take a look at now.